Hi everybody, this is Stefan from skinnybrain.com, and today we're going to be talking about how knowing your why can help you lose weight. And here's the agenda. I want you to know why your why enables you to be more flexible, how flexibility is needed to make new changes stick, and when you change yourself, you'll be able to lead others. How many of you make sure to stretch as part of your daily routine? Even though stretching is probably the least exciting part of exercise, physical flexibility is important to prevent injury. Trying to do a challenging exercise without first warming yourself up is asking for trouble. Well, when it comes to weight loss, being mentally flexible is equally as important. Knowing your why is what stretches your mind and enables you to be ready for change. What I'd like to do in this presentation is share my yo-yo dieting journey and how knowing my why helped me to lose 46 pounds and keep it off for over 2 years now. Starting in the junior high, I think that was the first time I remember really loving pizza. I loved it. I'd come home from school and go into the freezer, grab 1 or 2 Gino's pizzas, pop them in the toaster oven, and consume them pretty quickly. Then later on I would have dinner. But that was a normal routine for me whenever there was pizza to be had. And I did it because in the junior high, I was tagged with the nickname Pudgy. Now, I don't know if I was pudgy first and then I ate the pizzas, or if the pizzas got me a little pudgy, but by the time I was a freshman in high school, I was 5 feet tall, 135 pounds. And you may not be able to picture that, but I probably did fit that category of pudgy, even though it didn't feel very good to hear it. By my sophomore year, I had grew 8 inches, and it was really the first time that I got a taste of what it felt like to be thin. I loved it. I did not want to lose this figure, and so I joined every sports team I could, joined the YMCA, and at the end of my senior year was training for the Chicago Marathon. Exercise really was how I tried to manage my weight. At the beginning of my freshman year at Hope College, I was 5'9" and 159 pounds, and I was able to run the Chicago Marathon in under 4 hours, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. But after the Chicago Marathon, I was feeling pretty burnt out from running so many miles and decided I needed to take a break. Rather than transitioning to another form of exercise, I just kind of lost my routine. In addition, I had an all-you-could-eat meal replacement for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at school. And because my brain operating system was driven by the lie that I needed to get my money's worth, I gained weight. Rather than trying to learn portion control or why I was eating so much, I went on my first meal replacement diet. I don't remember how much I lost, but it was significant. Unfortunately, it only lasted for a short amount of time. The problem was, the shakes I was eating, they got boring, and my body was craving real food. Additionally, friends were calling me up to go out to dinner, and it would have been strange for me to bring my diet shakes along. Well, 7 years after my first marathon, I was 53 pounds heavier. In between, I had several yo-yo experiences, and I was just fed up. So I decided a diet wasn't good enough. I determined I needed more discipline. So I decided to run another marathon. This time it wasn't in Chicago, it was in San Diego. After 5 months of training, I was down 26 pounds. I was down to 186. I felt great, but I remember laying on the ground with the sun on my face, feeling satisfied that I had completed the marathon, but thinking to myself, well, my training's over. I guess I'm probably going to gain the weight back. It was pretty pathetic, really. Here I am, having trained and run 2 marathons, and still I have a sense of hopelessness around my ability to manage my weight. And in fact, I did gain that weight back. I increased 37 pounds over the next 3 years. In the spring of 2010, I was at my heaviest. I couldn't believe it. I felt so out of control, and I knew something had to be done. I had tried meal replacements, marathons, you name it, but nothing had worked. Here's a picture of me at my heaviest in the spring of 2010. In March of 2010, my wife encouraged me to join the gym that she was a part of. Although I was resistant, she mentioned that the membership comes with 1 free personal training session. I was curious to find out why the exercises I was doing on my own weren't helping me lose and then maintain my weight, so I decided to join. In my 1 free session with the trainer, he did a body assessment on me, and I was shocked at what he said. After completing the body assessment, he said, "Stefan, you are in the obese range, and you have the body of someone who's 10 years older than yourself." Me? Obese? I had never imagined I could have that label placed on me. I went home and told my wife what I had learned. And we talked about how something needed to change. I did not want to wear that label, the label of being obese. So I wasn't sure how to make my efforts last, but I knew I needed to do something. What I decided to do was start thinking about what I learned in graduate school. I remember learning in school that I couldn't lead my clients anywhere I hadn't gone myself. And since I wanted to be an excellent counselor, I thought learning to manage my weight was a great place to start. If I was going to make changes in my beliefs, assumptions, and habits, I knew I needed more maturity. If I was going to make these changes in my beliefs, like I said, and my assumptions and habits, I needed more maturity. So what I started to do was look at my family system, what beliefs I adopted about food, how food was used to comfort me when I was stressed, what patterns and habits I learned, all of that stuff. What I realized was I had never really matured in how I handled food. I was always dependent on others to keep my eating in line. And when no one was there to do it, I gained weight. Because weight was such a challenge for me, I realized if I could mature and become more flexible with my eating and with my habits and my beliefs around food, I could pretty much accomplish anything I set my mind to and anything I worked for. For me, maturity was learning to be more flexible with my beliefs, with my assumptions, and with my behaviors. I was so rigid and unwilling to question much around food, and I knew that needed to change. As I started to question my beliefs, I realized that I had bought into a lot of outdated theories which had no merit. Here are 4 of them. The first one, it's important to finish all this food or it's a waste. 2, if you don't go for the biggest size, you won't get the best deal. 3, eating when I'm hungry, angry, anxious, lonely, tired, or bored is the only option I have to feel better. 4, I have no control over my weight, so I need someone else or something else to do it for me. Over the past 2 years, I have worked hard to eliminate these beliefs from my brain operating system. And over the course of the next 12 weeks, you are challenged with helping yourself and your group members do the same. So let's summarize what we've learned. We've covered a lot in this presentation, and I want you to leave remembering these 3 things. Knowing your why enables you to be more flexible. Flexibility is required to make a new change stick. And third, when you can change yourself, you can lead others. So here's your next step. Before trying to change, make sure you've stretched. By knowing your why, you will be more flexible and ready for change. So to help you find your why, here's your assignment. Post your reasons for being in this course. Then, ask yourself, what are you hoping to get from this course? And third, what are your expectations? As always, if you have any questions, you can find me on the Skinny Brain forum or email me at stephan@skinnybrain.com. Have a great day.